Good evening, everybody. This is John Scarborough and Savannah Scarborough. Say hey, Savannah. We are over here on a little piece of land that we just acquired. We're putting up some temporary fence. This is actually a hay field the landowner has, and you can tell there's always a cutoff with a hay field. You know, you can't do everything. There's always an edge. There's always different places. Like this right here is a little bit of a low spot. There's a lot of places that have trees back along the side. So essentially we're going to run a hot wire all the way around, or a couple hot wires. We're actually going to do two because we don't want to chance anything getting into his pasture. Unfortunately, this hay field actually has a good perimeter fence. So we're actually bordering off the fence in some cases. This is the most narrow spot. This is pretty much just going to be a lane. But there's about 27 acres. Isn't that right? About 27 acres. Something close to that, about 27 acres of grazing land here to graze that he's not able to cut. So that's something we're going to work on. We're going to have more videos on that maybe. But what I wanted to show y'all today is what we're doing for some corner posts. We're actually going to we're running something more permanent here. We're using these timeless T-posts here. See if I can get that pulled out here. Savannah, hold that. Using these timeless T-posts. That's actually upside down there. Yeah. So those are timeless T-posts. That's a shorter one right there. Once you drive it in the ground, you can see the mark right there. That's where you stop. You drive it in there. It's about 30 inches sticking out of the ground. So flip the post over so everybody can see about how tall it sticks up out of the ground. And actually, yeah, flip it over. Yep. And then I am going to grab a O'Brien step-in fence post, which is my favorite step-in post. And if you step that in, the ground may be too hard there, but try to step it in if you can. That ends up being just about right.
I can't get it all the way
Well,
in.
you can't get it quite all the way in. So she's not able to push that all the way in. But if it was all the way in, then you can see, well, you won't be able to see it exactly, but you can see about right there where the ground line is on this second line right here. So usually we run our wire, we run one wire for our cattle, and we run it on the third wire. So this is actually going to give us a little bit higher wire. So we'll have one there at that height, you know, and imagine your post flipped over, because that's what we're doing. We're acting as if we put this in the ground. That's the height that it will be stuck into the ground. So once you flip this back over, you can tell that what we'll end up having is one on the top right there, and then we'll end up with another one down here. That gives us two. That's going to be plenty to keep the cattle in here. And this place has actually got water all the way around it, but we'll talk more about this place here in a little bit. What I wanted to tell you more about is these corner posts that we're going to do. I've done these corner posts before, but we're doing a little bit different. This is 2.5 inch electrical grade PVC. It's kind of pricey now. After COVID, everything went up, so it's pretty expensive. I've done the math on it. It's still affordable for what we're doing. We got a 10-foot stick, and we cut it down to, I think it was 40 inches. Is that right? Yeah. So we cut it down to 40 inches, and what that gives you is, gives you 3 posts. So you can take your 3 posts, and then if you live in the South, you can usually get your hands on some of this 2 3/8 drill stem, okay? And if you really are good, then you can find people that's already had this 2 3/8 drill stem, and they've got all these cutoffs, or maybe you have some yourself. There's all these scrap cutoffs that are just, you know, a lot of people can't do anything with them. I do, but I'm a professional welder that does a lot with that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't do anything with that, so they're kind of like scraps. We've got that right there. We've got it run up, I think it was 16 inches up into the pipe. Isn't that right, Savannah? Yeah.
16.5.
Yeah, so show everybody what that is. That's going to be about 16 inches. So it was 16.5 is what it was, yeah.
Right there.
So we ran it up about that far, and the ground level is going to be right there at that mark. So we're above, the pipe itself will stick above the ground level. The ground level's there. Put your finger where the ground level, where the pipe is, Savannah. Yeah, so you can see the differences, and that's about 6 to 8 inches. I think it's about 8 inches there. Just depends on which one piece of pipe, because we didn't cut our pipe down. They're just scrap pipe. But it works out pretty good. We just take one bolt, shove it right through. We had to cut a hole through and everything. And then the concrete will come all the way up to there. So it extends our post. We've got that. For us, we got it free because it was just old junk material we weren't going to do anything else with. But even if you did have to buy it, it's affordable. It extends your posts. But the main thing isn't that, it's that it stiffens your post up. Makes it really stiff and really strong. And then we're going to concrete that in right over here. Stick it in the hole, Savannah. So we'll just put it in, and that gives you a good hard concrete base. The reason I want her to put it in the hole is because I want you to see the bolt gets, you just set it in there. The bolt gets completely covered, if you can see it down in there, gets completely covered by concrete. So it's not going to rot off of there. It stays completely dry, and then and then your piece of pipe sits right here. So that's going to work out pretty good. That's a little bit deeper than it will end up being once we're done. But that's just something I wanted to share with y'all. Savannah, pull it back out of the hole there. I wanted to share that with y'all, let y'all take a look at this, kind of see what we're doing. We have used these posts in the past. This electrical grade PVC will last for 40, 60 years. I mean, it lasts for a long time. If you look at the side of anybody's house, most people will have a piece of electrical grade PVC, and that PVC may have been there since the beginning of the house. Since the time it was there. I've talked to several electricians, and you just don't see this stuff go bad very often. I'm not saying it doesn't. It will eventually deteriorate, but it's got some really good, I don't know what it is, but it's a solar protection agent of some kind in the plastic mix. So it's definitely been good stuff. It is pricey. I would not go to a big box store to buy it. I would find like a wholesale electric or something like that. You're going to get a lot, like just electrical supply, not a wholesale store. You're going to get a much better price. You saved like 20 bucks a post, or no, 20 bucks, $20 a stick for it, and then we got $3 a post. We ended up with $12 a post that we're getting on here, and if you do the math on treated post, that's not a bad price. So just wanted to throw that out there, guys. Like and subscribe for more.